am a mom of 5 babies. I'm currently pregnant with baby number 6. I really want to share my birth stories with all of my babies, and I figured there's no way that I'm going to be able to wrap it all into one video, so this is going to be a multi-video series. So obviously I have 5 babies, so I've had 5 births, and they've all been a little different in their own ways. So out of the 5, I've had 4 natural deliveries, 2 of which were VBACs, because my 3rd was an emergency C-section. So I've kind of had a little dose of everything, and now I'm going to be venturing into a home birth with my 6th baby. Let's just jump into my birth story with baby number 1. She is currently 11, so I was just turning 22 when I had my first baby. Honestly, her pregnancy went so well to the point that it was kind of like uneventful pregnancy, okay? So it was my first pregnancy, so I got to experience all the new things for the first time, which I still enjoy with every single time I get pregnant. All the first kicks and the ultrasounds and hearing the heartbeat, all of that is so special each and every time. So I was working at the time when I was pregnant with my first baby, so that made it a little bit different. So it was just a basic average day. I was going into work, working a office desk job, and I worked all the way up till she was born. So I actually took off a Friday and she was born the Saturday. So to jump right into her birth, she actually came on her predicted due date of August 2nd. And it was Saturday morning. I woke up, I went to the bathroom, and I noticed like just like a tinge of pink when I went pee. So I was like, this is, I mean, you're like, okay, this is due date, this is definitely baby. So of course I was advised, go ahead and go to the hospital, and to which I did. And when I went there, I was admitted, of course. And then once they got me into a delivery room, they eventually ended up breaking my water just by like checking me. And I was super proud of myself. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care. Everybody's different, but I am proud of myself for doing a natural delivery. It just feels, I don't know, it feels good to me to be able to do that. It was about 7 a.m. when I left the house to go to the hospital. So I probably got there around like 8 a.m. and then she came at 4:56 p.m. So I guess when you're like looking at the time of it, it doesn't sound as bad, but I was in like active like labor, and I pushed for a while. Like I wish I knew the exact time, but it was a good hot minute that I was pushing, because the OB that I had at the time, she only delivered my first, and she was great, but it was like one more push, and I can't even count how many times she told me that I had one more push, and that was indeed not true. I had several more. So it was definitely a first experience. There was obviously a lot of just new pain that I was trying to manage. I had done, of course, my research. I've watched some YouTube videos leading up to this, so I kind of was like teaching myself how to get through all of this pain. I'm not the type of person to say like, oh yeah, I have a high pain tolerance, but I guess I kind of do. So I was just breathing through, trying to do what I thought was best, and obviously it all went well. So she had a shoulder dysplasia, and so that kind of freaked me out. All I remember is they pulled my mom and my husband out of the way, and 2 nurses kind of like, I don't know, they kind of like stood up on something because they were higher than me, and they kind of like pushed from the top of my belly down and got her out past her shoulder. I did tear with her. It wasn't an awful tear at all, but it was almost like I expected it. Like that's just what I thought always happened when you had a baby. So there was that. I was exhausted. I can tell you that much. I had, I guess, pushed so hard I like popped a blood vessel like in my eye, so my eye was like bloodshot red. My daughter Coraline, she had came out and she had swallowed some meconium. Am I saying that right? And so she had to kind of go be evaluated for that. And again, new mom, so my husband did go with her. I still did not want to be without my baby, but I could not physically go, so they kind of swept her away, and my husband went with her. It was a couple of hours before I actually got her brought back to me to hold her. So that was super frustrating. She was the first grandbaby on both sides of the family, so we had a lot of family there, a lot of anticipation and wanting to meet her and all of that. But it's like I was just in that state of mind of, well, the hospital is going to do best. And I'm not complaining. Everything turned out. She's a beautiful, healthy baby. She ended up weighing 8 pounds, 8 ounces. She did have a little bit of jaundice, which most of my babies did. So she did have a little bit of jaundice. We ended up going home, I think, after like 2 days of in the hospital. So it was a very basic traditional hospital birth. Like, just nothing too crazy happened. It all just went kind of according to plan, I guess. When it comes to having your first baby, obviously your body is like, knows what to do, but it's still the first time doing it. So it took a minute to get her down there, get her out. I was like double fisting popsicles because that's all, you know, they don't let you eat anything once you go into delivery. And I threw up during labor, which I typically also do, and that's my least favorite part. I honestly do not throw up in my life unless I'm in labor. I hate the feeling of throwing up while in labor versus actually pushing out a baby. I don't know what it is. But for me being 22 and I just knew that I wanted to do an all natural birth, like, I was super proud of myself. I still am, that I was able to push through it because that was a long labor. And if you've had deliveries in the hospital, then maybe you can relate. But I know a lot of times when I talk to other moms, like locally, that epidurals are pushed so bad. I mean, everything's pushed bad, C-sections, inductions, and all that stuff. But I can't even tell you the amount of times that they came in there and was like, are you sure you don't want an epidural? You can still have an epidural. And I'm just like, I guess, like, I appreciate it because maybe they see me like in pain, but at the same time, it's like when you go in somewhere with a plan, I don't want somebody trying to mess my plans up, because then mentally you are focused on your one goal. And I just feel like that hiccup could have set me back. I don't know, because I haven't had an epidural, but I'm just like, no, I'm in the mode. I'm already like this far, like, we're gonna have this baby all natural. I really don't know what else to share when you're telling a birth story. Like, it was just beautiful and magical because obviously that's what made me become a mama for the first time. So I was so ready to do it again, but I was also so ready to just soak up every moment I could with the first baby that I had. And I'll be fully transparent. If you were to compare me as a mama now and even the last 2 babies that I've had compared to me as a first time mom, I am a totally different person, mother, all the things. When I say that this first baby was just like super traditional, I did a lot of things that I knew like our parents had done, and I felt like, you know, I just needed to follow that path. I was also just really soaking up like all the information that you were told by the pediatricians and everything. Not that they're wrong, they're great, they're amazing. I still just wanted to learn so much on my own. So that being said, I've had 5 babies, but I will still find myself researching like different topics, whether it's like baby-led weaning or different types of food or what's the best things for baby at this certain stage. Because even though I've done this so many times, I just feel like there's always something more to learn. So with my first baby, I did not breastfeed with her, formula fed. I did the rice cereal with her for her first meal. So when I say times have changed since her. Before delivering my baby, I was very adamant, and I still am, and I really like think strongly about this, but I always stretched every single night, sometimes morning and night, like anything to just start stretching, getting my body prepared for labor. Was on the exercise ball. I truly think that makes such a difference to me. Hopefully this birth story did not bore you, because I'm trying to think of like all the things that happened. It's been almost 12 years ago since it's happened. Honestly, I really don't think how things work out. As long as you bring a beautiful, healthy baby into this world, everything else has its way of working out. So that was the birth story of baby number 1. I had her almost 12 years ago. She's a beautiful young lady right now, and her name is Cora Lynn, and she is who made me a mama.